Jackson. We're from right outside of Nashville. It's good to be here again. When I first started blacksmithing, the very next thing I started doing was reenacting. And so when you're reenacting, you're having to cook over fire and things of this nature. And so I started making spider. It's just a skillet. It's got some legs on it, a little handle, and you put some holes underneath of it. You cook in it. They're really nice. This is my black. So what I do is I find these cool handle skillets at flea markets, antique stores, junk shops, and then I just cut the handle off of it. And then there's your skillet bottom. Now you can buy a skillet blank. I think you can get them online, but I think they're heavier than this. And I try to keep things kind of light. So I'll pass that around if you want to see it. And then the handle, once you cut it off, it's really nice tin. You can take it apart and then make a nutmeg grater out of it. I'll take a heavy nail and I'll punch it so that the backside of it where the nail comes through is the grater. And they work really well. I've got several of them like that. And then if you want to, there's generally a spout on the side of the skillet. And I usually leave that on there. If you're cooking bacon or something, you want to pour that off there. I always do it on the side if I'm going to leave it. If not, I'll hammer that down flat so that you can't see it. If you want to get fancy, you could make a skillet out of copper. And then you have to tin the inside of it. The only problem with that is that if you're using coals and things, you have to be really careful that you don't melt that tin, because that tin will melt pretty easy, especially if you've got hot coals and stuff underneath of it.
What is the process of tinning?
Of tinning?
Yeah.
So basically what you're going to do is you're going to form your skillet. You're going to put a flux in it like you would, I use ruby red. And then what you'll do is, it's just like you're going to solder a copper pipe at your house. Watch it. You'll watch that flux, it'll kind of flash. You'll watch it. And then you'll take a food grade tin, you'll rub that tin in there and melt it. And then you can take a material, a fiberglass brush or something, and then wipe that tin on the inside of it. It'll coat that with that tin. We had a Jim Cooper years and years ago used to run the Ornamental Museum in Memphis. And he came up to RCBA and taught us how to make copper skillets. And this was probably 97, 98 that he came up and taught that class. I still got the skillet that we made in class. But yeah, so it's I've made a bunch of these over the years. They're pretty easy. They're a lot of fun. Material-wise, what we're going to do is we're going to start with 3/8 square. We're going to do 7 inches. You don't want, one other thing is you don't want the legs so tall that you've got to build a fire under it. All you want to do is pull ash and coals out of your fire and put under it to heat.
What gauge would you say skillet? 10, 12 gauge?
I would probably say maybe even a little thinner than that.
14 gauge?
Yeah, probably so. I think this one's a little heavier than that one, but not much. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to center punch 1 inch back on all of these so that I can know right where to do my fuller. So I'm going to fuller all of these. So when we fuller this, we're just going to put a real light fuller on all sides so that we'll have a place to expand this where it goes onto the side. You can do it a couple different ways. You can just run it flat, like this one is, and put them on top of each other. This one I'm going to spread it out kind of wide. We're going to do them side by side. That's all we want right there.
Thank you.
Again?
Is the jaw screen sensitive?
Yeah. Yes. Now, something, if you let your material cool down just a little bit, a little center punch mark will stand out. Because sometimes when they get real hot, they're hard to see. I'll bring that one around here to show the people that didn't get to see. While I heat this one up. Same thing that we did before. Just a real light kind of feel mark all the way around. Real light, it has to be real deep. Always brush away from the people watching you.
Unless you don't like it.
I mean, there's that. There is that. I mean, usually you're the one wearing the safety gear, unless you gave everybody a plastic sheet. All right. Now.
painted the center.
Just the center. We're going to start widening that out. You can kind of move that around a little bit to get it to fishtail out just a little bit more. So we did the same thing with that one. And so once we get this out wide enough, we can get 2 rivets in it. That's what we're looking for. Now you can be fancy and chisel down or file down into it and make it a little heart shape if you wanted to. It'd be really nice. I'm not going to do that.
Well, let's get you told us, because that's Robbie. Robbie's very blue.
Now we can pull that out a little bit. That's what we're looking for.
2 small rivets, what do you ask?
Small rivets are hard to come by. I had to find an 1/8" rivet to make this bottle holder. I ended up using roofing that.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is, once we get these pulled out, we're going to work the edges a little bit and the top, just kind of uniform them up some. See, so I'm starting to adjust
Are you trying to put 2 rivets side to side or
Yes.
up and down?
side by side.
Okay. Because your example's up and down. So.
I said you could do it either way.
Oh, I
And I said that we were going to do ours wide so we could get them side by side.
not on this
Were you
one.
not paying attention?
No.
Are you?
Spot quit.
Are you?
Not really.
Spot quit. Spot quit.
I'm going to fail them every time.
What are we making today?
A spider skillet.
There you go.
Pass on it.
That's
Just
one.
had to make it a liar.
So we're starting to clean the edges up. That's all we're doing here. We're just cleaning our edges up. And this is very much the way how we would do a socket if we were going to do a socket. We would flare it out like this. Now something else I've also done too is I've hammered it halfway on and off so that this is now all one color. So half on, half off, so now we're not all.
What do you think it's like?
Like if you were going to make a socket for a handle or something, you flare it out like this before you roll it. Now pay attention now. Move quick.
I was wondering how you could turn that into a 10 or
I can do it.
very confident.
What's that?
He said he likes a man with confidence. I said he's very confident.
Have to be. Have to be.
Especially when it comes to cornflakes.
Some places are better than others. I have realized that this is not the place to forge with.
Well, Mark Asperger will tell you different. We get lots of forge wells here. Every forge has a forge well. It's like a production.
It is, right? I kind of like this. This is all right.
Half the work's done for you.
All right. So this is about what we're looking for right here. That's about what we're looking
Is that about an inch?
for. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. There. Now when you're upsetting back like this, make sure that you've got your tongs braced up against your side, and that'll help. That way you're not, it kind of anchors it.
Rob, have you ever taken the sheet steel and just made a skillet from scratch?
I have not. I have not. Because I can buy one of those skillets for $3. So I haven't felt the need to. Got a great assistant over here. I don't know what y'all paid him, but it's perfect.
Preacher's eyes require
What's the rating for upsetting the back?
So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of squaring that up a little bit on the back. That way it looks a little better.
You can do the same thing with the file.
Or a grinder.
He's just forging the finish.
Alright, now. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to bend these to about 45 degrees so that when it sits, when we rivet it on there, that's about what we want. So we'll keep that one right there as a reference.
So depending on the slope of your pan,
That angle might change.
yeah, 'cause
Absolutely.
that one's more more sloping.
Right, more sloping like that.
It has a steeper slope.
What?
It has a steeper slope.
Yeah. That's what I said. Hey, what there?
Yes, what?
Nothing. I got it. Doug coming late, or he wasn't paying attention on.
Hey.
Doug was late. Okay.
So, this is when he got.
No, we're good.
Antique store. Splits them up. He wants,
Yeah, for 18th century, that,
Okay.
that handle isn't correct. Alright, so now we've got
either is this.
our 3 legs. They're all initially bent, so we're going to let these cool off.
I'll do it hot.
No, I'm not. Do you have drill bits? Do you have your own drill bits?
Yeah,
Then good, then go get them.
very well.
I'll heat these right up. Alright, now for the handle. So for the handle, we're going to use 3/4 inch by 1/4 inch flat stock. 3/4 by 1/4.
Go take a look at this. Okay. Yeah, I'll just.
Now, something we're going to do first is we're going to center punch this about 1 inch on the edge. Why are we going to punch it on the edge?
So you don't see it when it's done.
Say again?
So you don't see it when it's done.
Well, not necessarily that. There's a different reason. Say again? That's right. That way you can see it when you put it in your core. If you do it on the side, on the flat, then you're trying to gauge where it's at. It's a little easier this way. So I used this for another project and I had cut it off and the end was a little ragged, so we just upset it a little bit to clean that up.
Did you allow for that in your 1 inch?
I did. I did.
Glad you had the foresight.
Appreciate you checking on me. Now, be careful with this. When you're fullering this down, it'll go real quick. Next thing you know, you'll be way too thin. Clean this up good, a little bit.
Was that about a half?
It is, yes. So now we're gonna run these corners in. We're gonna make a ball on the end of this a little bit. We're not looking for necessarily a ball form on this. We're just kind of rounding it up a little bit because we're going to flatten this out. Or it's going to mount.
A little pre-shape.
Correct. So now we're going to draw this out to the length of the handle we want. Now, that's going to vary on several different things. How big the skillet is, how heavy it is. You don't want a handle that's so long that it tips the skillet. So there's the start of our taper for our handle. And then we'll draw this out as a taper, a long, thin taper to the length of the handle. And we're probably going to work it out to about that long.
What are you looking for?
I have a tape measure somewhere. There it is. It is cooking. So we're going to be about 7.5 inches on this. We're also going to bring it down a little bit.
You ever thought about putting some sand in them legs to quiet down all the...
It's not mine. I'm not doing
I'm
that.
talking to him, not you.
We're just running that down just a little bit, making it handle a little bit. Any questions so far? No? We're good?
The skillet, you said the skillet's made from tin? The skillet you bought?
Yeah, it's just a tin skillet. I'm sure it's not actually tin, but that's what they call it.
So have you seen those for sale? And still, I mean, like at
Reenactments.
reenacting events, what kind of prices do they?
Depends on the event. It's like anything else. They price it to the clientele that they're buying. I would think $75 would be on the low end. 150 would be on the high end.
Those are also Nashville area.
If they forge the skillet as well,
I don't think that they would get too moved about that. Yes.
So for those of you that are thinking about attending the Daily Pocket celebration up at Discovery Park, that's something to put around your brain because that's kind of your in a target-rich environment that you wanted to sell something.
And you could start out, have several of them out there, and then put, $50 on one and see how quick it sells. If it sells real quick, and the next one, you might put $65 on there and see if it sells right away. And then kind of work your price up until they're looking at it and then they're putting them back down. And then back up. But you gotta be kind of careful about that because all their friends talk. I just got this skillet over here from this guy and it was $75. And then he goes over here and it's $85. Hey, what's up with that?
That was a different skillet, man.
That's right.
It's got more detail.
this one had.
Surge pricing.
That's why every single one you put out there, don't make them exactly identical.
That's correct. And the size of the skillet can vary also, and that can vary the price. How big is the skillet? Not that the skillet's going to cost you a whole lot more, but they do not know that.
You always hope for a customer like Robbie because he can come up and go, oh, it's under $500, give me the real.
Darn, it's like that. That skillet right there is
He's
not
like
for
this,
sale.
Rob.
Make your brain. I mean, I could make you a bunch of them if you wanted. $500 a piece, I'd do you something.
They got me messed up. I'm the kind of guy that's gonna take a picture and go home and make it. Oh, that's cool.
You wouldn't even buy one, would you?
No,
You
I just take a picture.
See, you're the worst
cheapskate.
kind. You are the worst kind.
You cheapskate.
I am.
Think we can get the ideas and stuff we make?
Now you told us.
I'm a copycat. I said I could find anything without telling.
See,
I
you told us.
can't say this right now. There's a camera going.
You told us if it's over $500, you can even tell your price.
I know. But that don't mean that
You'll find out when the
I
next
want to make sure I tag Sarah in this video.
Yeah, thank sir on the video.
Oh, now you're in trouble.
with friends like these.
That's right. Now, little trick here, you pull that little edge off right there, it's going to break right off.
So is that just an experience thing, Rob? That you know basically what you get away with the wing and not have the whole wing tip over? Or
Yeah.
just you're basing it on?
Basically on just, right. Absolutely.
Trial and error.
I've made some that had beautiful handles and they wouldn't let the thing in.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same with the pricing. If it's a little long, you back off on it.
Hey, Rob.
You very well could.
Rob. All right, let's say you had you wanted a longer handle on that thing to keep your hand out of the campfire.
Right?
Could you spread your legs out at a wider angle and stabilize it?
You could, absolutely. But now remember, this isn't going to be in the campfire. This is just going to have a handful of coals under it.
It's off to the side of the car.
He wasn't here at the beginning, so he don't.
Okay, I've got one. I stick mine in the fire in front of my head.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. I'll have my fire going. Now this will be on the side, and I'll shovel coals out of that fire and stick it under it, so it doesn't have to be in the fire. Now, if you wanted to do it that way, then I would make that front leg heavier. Maybe even put a foot on it.
That's not big. You can make the front one half it.
You put the two legs on the handle side and the one leg on the front side.
Or you could have the front leg, the heavier leg, be upset a little bit more toward the end and have a longer piece to start out with and upset towards the ground. To get a bit more weight there.
And you could buy a glove.
I mean, there's multiple different solutions to this issue.
Big area to the
What's that?
He said the glove would be period correct.
Well, you know, a piece of wool, piece of leather. But yeah. No, I mean, you could do lots of things. You could even trim down on the size of the material for the handle, just as long as it was heavy enough to pull it out of there. All right. All right, so there's our handle with the exception of the ball on the end.
Are you gonna thin that bowl out, or?
I
is it-
am. Okay. I am. So when you widen out an area like we're about to, always start in the middle and work your edges out at the end. We're going to start in the middle. We're going to start in the middle and work our way down. All right. Now we're just going to kind of round this up just a little bit, take those corners up top off. And that's our finished handle on that end.
You say you got to thin down about an 8.
Yeah, about that. have to start out with an inch by 8. That way you give you enough material to make it.
Yeah.
Is there a specific thickness you're going for in
So we're looking at about an 8. And I was telling you, if you could start with 8 by 1 and get enough material, but you have to be at least an inch.
You can leave it around 7.
As far as the other end of the handle, I always like to do a little finial like this. It's kind of nice. You could leave it just flat. You could round it up a little bit. You could poke a hole in it, make it a little bit bigger around. But I always thought this was a nice look, and I always liked that.
You gonna do that?
I am. Unless you want to do it. Are you sure?
I've never done one like it. I'm actually interested to watch you do it. I always screw it up.
How do you screw it up?
I don't do it right.
All right, so we're going to pinch off about an inch. Not like this.
Were those half on, half off blows?
They work.
Okay.
It's gonna be on TikTok later.
And what he was meaning by a half on, half off blow, it means that hammer, half of that face of that anvil was covering the hammer and half of it was not. So it was hanging off just a little bit, which was allowed us to create that step. And then we're just going to draw this out. Doing. We're just drawing that out to a little thin point.
See that about quarter of the width?
We're not done yet.
Okay.
It'll be a little less than that when we're done.
Watching your metal.
Well, that's the point of flea market, right? You've got to pay the bill.
See there? How that's coming along.
Oop, oop.
Up, up. And don't forget that at this point, that little thin end is going to come off real quick. It looks like the 4th of July all over again. Yep. Get all over.
8 square.
Right now, yes. We're gonna work just that tip just a little bit, and then that's gonna be it for the length of our. All right, so I like that. We are 2 3/4. We pulled that 1 inch to 2 3/4. Now the trick is to not burn it up. So on the other end, we're going to square it up just a little bit and then just slightly fan it out. We're going to try and put that little tip on the other side of that fire so we don't burn it up. That's going to be the goal anyway. Not to burn it up. So right here on this Alright. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to heat that tip, we're going to bring it out, we're going to put a finial on it, and then we're going to turn it around. We want a little finial. Alright, like that. So we're gonna turn this way just a little bit. Just like that.
Get
Those for TikTok.
That's right. Next internet sensation.
When they're learning,
It's easy to do.
it's very, I'm doing
I mean, I still do it.
I have to think about it before I do it.
I've got a pair of scrolling pliers just so I can understand.
what I use.
If it's round stock, you just twist it. We have a little tank with water in. It's hot. Can I have one, please?
What's that Fuji water? You're not drinking.
Hey, that's holy water.
Now you just want to catch just that little end of it right there. That'll be $1. $1.
Oh, hey, he's this guy.
Yeah, oh, $5. $5.
I think you can get your thing out of them.
I'm all out of dollars.
Well, I've copyrighted this. If I see you doing one, I'm gonna sue you.
You know why Robbie's skillet, the handle is no limit and it won't ever tip over? Because he's got these brontosaurus steaks that he puts in there to cook. That's all he cooks. Eggs.
It's all that 85 Wagyu that's cut for.
I don't like Wagyu. I just like just a good fillet. Good thick fillet. Needs to be prime at least, but I don't like Wagyu.
We got the guy at work who swears by the Wagyu steak.
I've had it like 2 or 3 times and I've been disappointed every time.
It's overrated.
I'm like, this stuff needs, I'm like, I almost want steak sauce. And I don't ever eat steak sauce.
That's really.
That is
If
bad.
I need steak sauce, I need the manager. Yes. That's what I tell him.
Are you tempted to put ketchup on it?
No, I'm not that bad.
You only put ketchup on prime rib. That'd be about right.
Only I put on prime rib is au jus sauce.
Horseradish.
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 Alright. So that looks good. I like the way. I like that.
It's nice. What?
That 3/4 inch to 1 inch steak.
Alright, so at this point, if you were gonna file finish it,